In today's episode, we'll be looking at the mythical goalkeeper, Elessa Robert. Elessa Robert played for Sussex College team as a goalkeeper and as an attacker. After Sussex College, Robert Elessa got into civilian football, and his club was Powercam of Victoria. Elessa had a stint with PWD of Bamenda. How did you get into Powercam?
I got into Powercam just not that I was ready. In fact, it was during the midterm holiday.
Thank you, my friend.
And then I went to the field. So it appears that day many players did not attend practice. So what happened was that I opted to play in the goal post. As usual, ailing was one of the best players. He stood, I say, somewhere in between, that is in the middle, so halfway in the field, halfway, and took a shot, which in normal circumstances he would have entered. But I caught the ball with ease. So Matthias just said, "Master, that boy will I say how long?" So after the practice, a young approached me and said I should be attending practice. It was not something which I would say I was recruited. It was just by mistake. Or I should say it was just, it was a kind of
a coincidence, you may say?
A coincidence.
Yes. But when you got into the team, you quickly got a first choice place.
Now there's a little bit of history here. Akwo, who used to be the regular goalkeeper, left Powercam and went to prisons. So when I came, I opted to play in the goal. So as I played there, you see, I did very well. That's why just my very first time I practiced.
They just got you into the team?
They just told me that I should be attending practice.
You were a very good attacker as a college. Why did you settle as a goalkeeper, finally?
Normally, I'll call Reverend Father Nomi. Before I answer that question, I want to give to say something about the first time I've heard of the word versatile. Father Nomi told me that you are a versatile player. By versatile means all round.
You can play anywhere.
Yes. So that's how when I go to play in the post, you like me there. I play as the center forward, you like me. I play as backkeeper, you want me to be a backkeeper. I play as a right, any wing. You just find me. You want me to play in the wing, in the place. So that's how. That's what happened.
Robert, even from secondary school, right up to when you went to Powercam, you were associated to a lot of mythicism following some very strange looks and which you put on, and following some very strange action, football action, that you were putting on the field. The way you were dribbling, the way you were shooting, the way you were diving, and so on. What do you say about this? Most people felt that there was a lot of mysticism around you.
There was nothing like mysticism, and up to today, if I went to the field, I will not say there's anything mystical about it. It's just that, take something like a penalty, catching a penalty. I was very good in catching penalties. One thing a goalkeeper should be able to do is that he should be able to influence the man who is coming to kick a penalty to kick the ball where you can dive better. Now, I want to beg you to allow me keep this secret, in the sense that I will not tell you where I can dive better.
Okay.
But I will say I always influence the person kicking the ball to kick where I can dive better. So when I make as if I want to dive to the other side,
he kicks the opposite side.
Where I can dive better, and I remove the ball, and they say, this man is a jazz man.
Can you still remember any very memorable match you played as goalkeeper of Power Camp?
Yes. When I came to Power Camp, by then it was Power Camp had not qualified for Interpol. But when I came, we qualified. I will not say it is on my goalkeeping prowess. I will say at least I was able to control my backkeepers the way that even if I failed to catch a ball, they can remove the ball. So that's how that's what really happened there in that institution. When I went to Power Camp, one of Power Camp qualified when Interpol started. That's when Power Camp qualified, and I was in that squad.
It is not easy to handle stardom. How did you handle it, being such a star goalkeeper?
Well, I will give everything to God. I will not say there was something special. I remember when we were going to play in St. John Banga, in Banga. Now, the eve of that match, Tongli was sports captain then. And at that time, Ephraim Guafo, who used to be the regular goalkeeper, I think he had developed a sprain in the hand. So we all sat in the room, and in room 2, and we were talking of how they're arranging the team for tomorrow, for the next day, and so on. So it happened that we sat. When it came to the position of goalkeeper, they had a plan that they would put somebody who used to be. As we were running up, I just put up my hand. By then I was informed too.
Yes.
I just put up my hand. I just said, Tony give me the floor. I just said I will play in the pole. Everybody, and I was one of the smallest players in the hall on that day. I just said I would play in the pole. Not that I felt that I was a very good goalkeeper. I just felt that this is an opportunity to go to Mbanga. Let me go and see how Mbanga. And we went to Mbanga. Frankly, I was the hero of the match. We beat Mbanga 3-2.
Yes.
St. John Mbanga 3-2.
Exactly.
And that evening, after the match, one, I think a senior student of
Young man,
a female student, she brought a basket of mangoes. Big, I think it was a mango season. Big basket like that, divided into two. He said, voilà, pour le gardien. And the rest are pour les joueurs. I quite remember Mr. Fonkwa was the
games master,
the leader of the delegation.
Yes. When you were playing civilian football, especially with Elexpo, how did you react if a referee showed you a card, a yellow or a red card? How did you react?
No, normally it is. I'll behave like any other person. I'll be angry. If I know that, because in most games that have been sent out, I didn't see what I did that warranted a kind of a red card. But it looks like, for example, when we qualified for the first time we qualified to go to first division, we played a match against Diamant. Ndoga played against us. It was 2-2. But before that match, people had said, how you could do if he late CNE Massa, if he faced that people and so again Ndoga and so on. I said, we are going to the field, let us just go to the field. But it looks like after that match, we played another one again. Then the next one was we were to play with this other team that I think is Dieppe in camp. That match I did not play. It looks like the referee had programmed that
you must be sent out.
I must be sent out so that the help in camp could have it easier. Could have it easy. So it looks like they sounded the whistle for something which I didn't. So I left the pole. I went and stood in front of the man and said, Master, how? The man just showed me a red card. Mr. Fogbeta was very angry. But somehow we managed to qualify, although we lost the match. 3 goals against 4. But it was a kind of plan
to make the help qualify.
Yes, to make the help qualify. Because normally if I had played that match, either the match would have been a draw or would have beaten the help.
What memories do you have about some of your teammates?
The memories I have, apart from Ayong, who was a striker, all the other people were the goalkeepers, because I was playing mostly with them. I would shout with them, I would shout at them. If I find that somebody wants to, that is, does not want, he didn't concentrate on a particular person, I would shout somebody like Mukulu. Mukulu, attention. Since he was also a Douala fellow.
Exactly.
I would talk to him in Douala, meet them, don't give him space, and so on. I spoke to, we had also another player, Nkwenti, we used to call him Razel. Those are the
memories of your teammates. Now,
and of course, we our captain, late Fontem.
When and why did you leave Elexpo?
You know, here again, there's a little bit of history here. You know, we had some of our people in the Northwest like late Party Mungwa, who was working with PWD, I mean in the highways in Limbe. You had and so on. They sent me there to go and play in Beminda with the promise that they will get a place for me in Kasbambili. So in Kasbambili, I did not write the entrance. I just got there through my football prowess.
For how long did you play with PWD Beminda?
I went the same year with Franklin Go. So I didn't play that much. From there, I left and went for further studies.
Exactly. When you went out of further studies, I know it's to Nigeria.
Yes.
Did you continue football there?
Not really. Not really.